Hi guys, it's Damien again. I'm back with another edition of how to start and grow a home-based business, specifically with food such as candy and baked goods, and these types of items. Just a real quick recap that let you know who I am. My wife and I started a business, a brick and mortar bakery here in Georgia. We started it and it was very successful for a couple of years. We actually transitioned into a commercial kitchen that's over 2,000 square feet now. And we had our son. After we had our son, we decided to take our business online and have been extremely successful doing that. And I'm pretty much doing these videos just to give you guys a guide or some help, some advice as to how we did it and how we continue to grow our business. We've been doing it for several years now. We've shipped to over 15 countries around the world using sites like Etsy, Amazon, eBay, and our own website and Bonanza.com. There's a lot of sites out there that you can sell products if you hand make them. But to be honest with you, between Amazon and Etsy, Etsy is fantastic. It's a great site and community of sellers who hand make products. So if that is your niche, if that's what you do, you can make really good money doing it. We make a living doing what we do, and our company continues to grow. So just very simple, some basic videos on how we did it. I'm actually in the process of writing a book that will be out shortly that will give you how-tos and some tips and tricks on selling your sweets and treats. And I'll have that available on ebook as well as a hardback hard copy book as well. So real quick, this episode is just going to be about incorporating yourself, kind of just the legalities, the legal side of having a home-based business or a commercial kitchen that may be on a home premises of your home, a separate kitchen, basically in regards to licenses, making sure that you're legal with the state and that you are inspected and all that good stuff and insured to kind of protect yourself as well as follow all the rules that are set up by your state and your city and go from there. So the first things first, if you want to do a home-based business, if you made that decision to do it and you want to move forward with doing it, and specifically these videos are about doing candies, making favors for parties, doing gift baskets, anything that's kind of like that. You need to incorporate yourself. That's a very simple process. If you're not wanting to or willing to or educated enough just in regards to what it would be or what the steps are to do it, you can go to your accountant. We actually had our accountant file the papers to incorporate our business. Very simple. I think it was like about $200, $250. The fees that are involved are the fees for the accountant and then the state fees to do it. Every state is different. This is not there. I can't necessarily speak on every other state. We're actually in Georgia. The states and laws and the procedure and guidelines, all that stuff is different here compared to Florida or compared to any other state. So check with your accountant. They can really do it for you. When you file your taxes, ask them, hey, can you incorporate, I'm going to start a home-based business, and they go from there. The next step you want to see is to check with the city that you live in, specifically the city you live in. Every city, just like every state, has different guidelines. Either you can or you can't operate a home-based business where you are. You need to check with your city. Very simple question. We went down to the city hall, I believe it is here where we live, and simply checked on basically is it allowed or is it not. That quick yes or no question will either stop you in your tracks or it'll allow you to move forward and then go ahead and get and apply for a business license. So call up your local city where you're at. Say, hey, can I operate a business at home, or do I have to have a separate commercial kitchen? To be honest with you, 99.99% of the time, to be a legitimate business producing candy or baked goods, you really are going to need to have a commercial kitchen. There are certain types of rules and regulations by the Department of Agriculture That's the USDA is actually who inspects us here in Georgia. So the Department of Agriculture comes in and walks to our facility and checks us and does all that good stuff. And normally it's annually, every year, or sometimes it's every 6 months. And again, it depends on your Department of Agriculture by you. It depends on your state. There's a lot of variables. Again, these videos are just for some common things that we've come across in regards to operating a business here where we are. So I can only speak on what I've experienced. I can't speak on every other state. If you have any other questions or something that you'd like to ask me that I don't cover in a video, just like everybody else does, ask me the question down there and I'll be happy to get back to you as soon as I can and try to help you as much as I can. So yes, you may actually have to have a separate commercial kitchen. There's certain types of sinks, commercial sinks and such, that have to be in place for sanitary purposes, to keep your facility clean, etc., etc. So in regards to the department that will actually inspect you, if you do have the ability to have a commercial kitchen in your home, and you do build it, and it's all decked out and everything, you can actually go through the Department of Agriculture. Some places are the health department. They will actually inspect you as well, or they'll be the agency that will come in to see your facility. The Department of Agriculture, where we are, they're wonderful people, very easy to work with, and they come out regularly and they do their checklists and such. The next thing that you would need to get with the state, this is not a local municipal license of any kind, but with the state you got to have a business license as well. You need to apply for a sales tax certificate. What that allows you to do is that on behalf of the state, when you are operating a retail store of any store of that kind that collects a transaction, if you're making that transaction within the state, you have to collect sales tax. And then obviously every month, sometimes it's every month or every quarter, every 3 months, you will need to file that and send in taxes if you have collected them. Through the internet, when sales are made within a state, you do collect sales tax. If you're shipping to South America or shipping overseas, that sales tax is not collected. And then you, of course, can just fill it out. It's a simple form that's done online, and I think every state operates that same way. And then you send in your sales tax. The other thing that you'll get, and you need to apply for with the state, would be the Food Sales Establishment License. I'm looking up because our licenses are actually behind the camera. But anyways, the Food Sales Establishment License. This is a license that you get specifically through the Department of Agriculture. Yes, the Department of Agriculture. The Food Sales Establishment License is a certificate you'll receive after you pay the fee. I believe here in the state here, Georgia, it's like $75 to $100. But if you have a commercial kitchen, or if you plan on selling any type of candy or any type of a food type of product, you need to have that specific license from them. And we are, of course, not a retail store, so we don't have customers coming through our facility here because our business is done online. So normally when we did operate our retail store, all of these licenses will have to be in view of the public. That has to be viewed by the public. It's one of the rules of having these types of licenses. So even though you're in a facility that doesn't have foot traffic, you do need to post them up and have them visible when you're inspected, or if you have any type of state agency come through. You want to make sure that that's posted up and put on a corkboard somewhere. And again, we had to do that when we had our retail store, our retail bakery. We did post these up, the licenses. We put them in frames and had them up and all that good stuff. But you still have to have them visible. So, all in all, in regards to licensing and getting yourself certified and certificates and all that good stuff, just remember, step one, you need to incorporate yourself as a business. Now, when you do that, there are several varieties, different ways, I guess you could say, to incorporate yourself. and your accountant will kind of recommend which best way you can, the best for your specific situation. We are considered an LLC, which is a limited liability corporation. And depending on how you want to incorporate, you can be a S corp or a C corp. And again, your accountant can kind of clarify those specific differences in those classifications for tax purposes. You want to get that, then you want to call your local city, find out if in your area you can start a home-based business to start, and of course grow into a commercial facility like we have gotten now. Start off small. Every business does. The Microsofts of the world and Apples of the world all started in garages and in basements and smaller little facilities, and then grew into something bigger. So find out those two things, super important, and then find out which agency would be in charge of inspecting your facility. So which agency is it that you would go to, and then say, hey, what do I need to do in my area? What is it that's needed from me to get you guys to give me a certificate, to get me set up, get me licensed, get me inspected? What do I need to put into my facility in order for me to pass those regulations and then get my business up and running? And then from there, you're pretty much good to go. That's pretty much the gist of it when it comes to the licensing and such. The sales tax and all that good stuff can be done through the state, and many of the local licensing and inspections can be done super simple. Just if you have questions, ask them. Most of the agencies that we've dealt with, actually all of them, have been fantastic, very easy to work with. If you don't know the answer to a question, obviously you need to just ask it. So if any of these agencies can help you get going, these are the ones that I have had to deal with. And once you've got it up and running, it's just basically an annual renewal fee that you can do. Most of this is online, so when you want to renew it, it can be done super simple in just a matter of a few minutes. As far as all of the licenses together, as far as a money amount, I probably spent about $500 to $700, I think, on licenses and such. And every year you have to renew them, but those renewal fees are considerably less than the initial fee. So again, that's it for this video. It's just about the licensing and such. I'll do a few more videos tonight and post them up. That'll be in regards to shipping. When you begin to ship your products, a lot of people don't realize there are some tricks to shipping stuff in order for them not to break. And also there are some seasonalities to selling certain types of candies, chocolates and things when it comes to spring and summer. There's some things you may not want to sell or ship during that time frame. So you may want to try to make other things that are harder, like harder candies, maybe some baked goods or cookies, or other things that won't be heat sensitive, that would be a little smarter to ship and sell during those times of the year. We have over 500 products that we sell, and we have a tendency to have some of the less heat sensitive items sold during spring and summer. And then during winter and fall, we can pretty much sell anything and everything and ship it without any questionable, temperature issues with stuff melting or sticking and all that stuff. Anyways, that's another video. For this one, that's it. Thanks, guys.